Now, going on to the business blunder of the day, you have Best Buy firing the whistleblower that brought sunlight into the dark, morally vacuous crevices of Best Buy. Now, Best Buy is known for selling electronics. They've been around for quite some time. They've had some success throughout the years, headquartered over in Minnesota. For years, they've been very much left-wing politically speaking. And it's one of those things where you actually had an employee who was not too happy about the religious discrimination that he was suffering at work. Now, fascinating enough, Best Buy, and of course this isn't all too uncommon, unfortunately, these days, where they are selective about which religions you are allowed to practice at work. Now, at Best Buy, if you go into the actually back end logistics where the Geek Squad is and the employees are sitting, so the back end of the office and the corporates, as well as the outlet stores, they have a bunch of LGBTQ flags, books, pins, everything, but you're not allowed to have a Bible. Why not? If you believe in why are you only allowing certain people and groups to express themselves? That seems pretty morally vacuous to say the least. Can't have a cross you can't wear a cross? Really? But you can wear a pin that supports the other thing. Seems pretty selective and discriminatory to me. And interestingly enough, they actually won't allow you to become a manager depending on your nationality. And of course, as cliche as it sounds, you know which nationality they would not allow into their manager trainee program: white folks. So they specifically said on the questionnaire of who qualifies to become manager, you had to have three things. Now, first of which makes sense. The first is you have to work there for at least a year. That makes sense. They want to make sure you're invested in the company, you've been there a while. The second is you have to be an employee in good standing, also known as you're not getting written up for being late, you're performing adequately or above average. And then thirdly, you had to be one of 5 minority ethnicities. I believe they said African American, Pacific Islander, Asian American. They noted everything except white folks. So thereby you could not apply. And you had an employee who actually was brave enough to come out and say, well, you're discriminating against my religion. That's why I came to the United States. The United States used to be a place where every American believed in things like morals and values and actually freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, but unfortunately times have changed. Now, this gentleman actually said specifically, and this is Enos Sujak, he's a former Geek Squad member, he said, quote, "My family fled religious persecution in Serbia so I could live my life as a Christian without being prosecuted for my beliefs, yet that is exactly what is happening." He says, "On September 1st, 2023, Best Buy terminated my employment because I stood firm against my workplace discrimination based on my religion, and I exercised my right to be a Christian." Now, it looks like Sujak was a Serbian immigrant. Again, this is from Daily Wire. He was a Serbian immigrant living in Jacksonville, Florida, who recently exposed his conversation with his manager in Best Buy, giving the information to James O'Keefe of O'Keefe Media. And during his conversation, Sujak and his manager, Mike Hirsch, he asked why are LGBTQ flags appropriate in the office, but Christian crosses were prohibited. And this is after he walked out of an employee session about history of the LGBTQ community and in the workplace and being a well-being ambassador. Now, imagine if you reverse this, how irate corporate media would be if a business had the audacity to actually give a Bible seminar. Or they actually said, hey, this employee, maybe they're Hindu or they're Jewish, you have to come and learn about the Bible and Jesus. You have to learn about the Christian faith in order to work here. You would have lawsuits up the wazoo. You'd have protests in seconds. And yet, the corporate media is all too fond of supporting these types of initiatives, or rather this type of discrimination. And he continued to say, let's say all over the hub, we can't have Christian stuff all over. And he says, the manager currently says, quote, "They're not the same." Adding that you are choosing to believe in Christianity. They in regards to the LGBTQ community, they didn't choose it. And Sujik told O'Keefe that he had a long conversation with his manager about work-appropriate symbols, leading on to say, quote, "It was like an hour and 30 minutes of he and I just going back and forth and him telling me that it was work-appropriate to have all this LGBTQ stuff in the offices and everywhere else, but it's not okay to be a Christian myself and have a Bible right over there. That's right there in the office, or have a cross or a Quran or anything like that." Continue to say, quote, the guy said, quote, "That's not work appropriate, But having LGBTQ clear everywhere that is work appropriate, and I wasn't standing for that. Now, the company's website claims for an equal opportunity policy, which no one believes anymore, and they claim that they claim they will not discriminate based on age, race, gender, creed, religion, ethnicity. Oh, really? Well, not so much. As cliche as America has become, the one butt end of every joke, as well as active discrimination, is Christians and Catholics. Someone's gotten a cliche. Will they ever stand up for themselves? Now, thankfully, there are some lawsuits that are actually being filed to support gentlemen like this who have been discriminated against. And it'll be interesting to see, do people start to protest Best Buy more and more? It is perhaps the easiest protest of your life, considering you can buy electronics pretty much anywhere else. You've got great companies like Time Technologies if you own a business and need IT hardware. But realistically, if you don't need business grade, you just need consumer grade products, why don't you just go to Walmart? They've got darn near everything. They got your food, they've got your bikes, your tires, batteries. You get a laptop there. You get an HDMI cable there. Prior to this incident, I went to Best Buy once in the past, 3 or 4 years? And it's because an HDMI broke, or a cable broke. And I wanted something for a meeting later in the day, so I had to have it. So I went to Best Buy, and they didn't have one in stock. And again, that was me being foolish to think they'd actually have a modicum of customer support, or they'd actually have stock. Which, if you're Best Buy, your only job is to have crap in stock. If I didn't care about having it immediately, if I didn't need it right then and there, I'd just buy it online because it's not time sensitive. Yet Best Buy didn't have an HDMI cable. I still can't. That still blew my mind how poor planning that is, how pathetic it is. And again, just go to Walmart. Go to Amazon.com. There's another one. There's even places like Micro Center where they are more boutique curtailing to electronics. If you want a specific build on a computer, or if you want a high-end gaming laptop. So there are many alternatives. There's really no legitimate reason to go to a Best Buy, I would say. So it'll be interesting to see. This is going to be a long-term cycle in terms of boycotting. I think the Bud Light boycott was very easy to see in terms of the sales results because, again, it's a consumable product. Most people who purchase alcohol probably purchase when they go grocery shopping, which I would say for most Americans is probably a weekly endeavor. And that is something that you buy at high frequency. You're able to see, week over week, Bud Light sales are down between 27 and 30% compared to the same fiscal period last year, which is an astonishingly successful boycott and a first for people who are politically on the right. Now, in terms of a Best Buy boycott, the company already said they're decreasing their forecast, and they're saying, oh yeah, we're the economy, it's all bad, when their competition area is actually doing pretty good. But this is going to be a longer boycott, because again, how often do you need a new laptop or new phone? Well, personally, I'd say, every 5-10 years? It's like, or a new washing machine. Heck, go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's. There are many places, I know Best Buy has the home appliances as well, go somewhere else for that. So I think it's going to be a long boycott because, again, the things you buy at Best Buy aren't consumables. They're more durable products that last, or they should last for years. So I think we'll see the effects long term. But as this comes to the forefront, I think a lot of people are starting to see how unfair it is to only discriminate against one religion. And it's just morally vacuous to so plainly discriminate against not only managerial opportunities, but in this case, you can't even have a Bible at work. You can't even have a cross. Now, I understand the argument behind maybe an employee uniform. You're trying to be you wanted the business to be apolitical. I understand that argument perhaps, but to not have a cross or a Bible at your desk, which again, these desks are not customer facing. This is kind of in the back office. So no consumers and no customers are seeing this business environment where they're saying you're not allowed to support your faith and your religion. So let me know, are you going to be joining the Best Buy boycott? Will it be successful? How many years do they still have left of being in existence? Do they even warrant an existence at this point? It'll be interesting to see, but as I always say, time shall tell. Thank you everyone again for taking the time to tune in. I know it's a high ambition. I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September. So if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, really appreciate the comments and the likes. The comments really help build the channel, grow and develop, as well as if you have individual experiences with these topics. Love hearing more frontline experience, whether it's the ongoing UAW United Auto Workers strike, or maybe someone has some firsthand experience working at an automobile company. If you can maybe tell us why they're killing all these beautiful stick shifts to go with automatics. So any insight is also greatly appreciated. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.